A few other governing bodies, including the G20, the International Monetary Fund, and a few others, are presently working together in order to cancel all of the world's debt and to maybe place us all into a completely new financial system that could be driven by XRP or Ripple. This is something that you probably did not know, and if you think that this is completely absurd, you are not alone. I thought the same thing when I first heard about it. However, there are things that are now being worked on, things that are taking place, and XRP is stated several times in all of their paperwork. In the video that I am going to record for you today, I am going to demonstrate exactly what is taking place here, because to tell you the truth, it is very cool. In addition, we just received a significant update yesterday, which is something that nobody is really talking about, but which you guys absolutely need to be aware of. Now that we've taken all of that into consideration, let's hit that like button and get started with the video. To begin, I would want to begin with a document that is official from the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. This paper emphasizes XRP as the payment method that is the most suitable for international transactions that is now available. They also mention Stellar Networks XLM, and they are going to say that Ripple is a real-time gross settlement system, currency exchange, and remittance network. So as we can see here highlighted, two digital currencies that fall into this category are RippleNet's native digital currency, which is Ripple XRP, and they also mention Stellar Networks XLM. Every transaction costs just a fraction of a penny and requires a small fraction of XRP to be destroyed in the process, which means that the total supply of XRP decreases over time and in theory maintains its value. Ripple was developed by Ripple Labs, a technology company based in the United States. It enables multinational corporations to settle cross-border payments by transferring XRP through the Ripple network, which results in on-demand liquidity in 4 seconds. Additionally, Ripple can handle 1,500 transactions every second. In their official documents, the International Monetary Fund IMF and the World Bank WBB describe Ripple as the most effective method for international financial transactions. Following that, if we also go to their official advisory committee on finance and technology, you are going to see a name that you are already familiar with. I am going to give you everyone a moment to identify it and see whether you are able to do so. It's right here where my mouse is, right where I am. When you look at their high-level advisory group of finance and technology, you will notice that Chris Larsson, who works for Ripple, is mentioned. Now, if you are of the opinion that this is not a very significant matter, I would want to quickly correct you on that thinking, since the International Monetary Fund is in charge of supervising a completely new digital revolution of the financial sector. When you look at this list, you will notice that it also contains a number of other names that are extremely significant, such as the CEO of Alibaba, Robert Merton, a professor at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, along with a large number of other individuals, the Bank of Indonesia, or Harino, along with a large number of other individuals who are involved in this, right? And naturally, these individuals are currently meeting up with a large number of other extremely significant individuals in the space. In fact, one of those is the G20, and if you are unfamiliar with what the G20 is, then get familiar with it. In addition to that, let's get a little bit more into that. In other words, the Group of 20, sometimes known as the G20, is an informal assembly of many of the greatest economies in the world. It is the most prominent worldwide platform for debating issues surrounding the economy. Without a doubt, however, it has been confronted with disagreements about trade, climate change, and the conflict in Ukraine. On the other hand, the European Union, Canada, and a great number of other countries that are members of the G20 are all participating in these meetings, and they discuss, among other things, the direction that the future of finance is going to take. Furthermore, it is not surprising that Ripple is brought up in these discussions very frequently. Because of this, I would want to bring attention to something that took place in Brazil not too long ago itself. And so one of the terms that you guys are probably quite familiar with and are aware of at this point in time is compliance with ISO 2000022, right? It is clear from this post that the future of finance, which will be characterized by the harmonization of APIs and ISO standards, is becoming closer and closer. In recent times, Brazil has played home to a G20 summit that included both the BIs and the FSB. That is the Bank for International Settlements. If you will excuse me, it appears like everything is proceeding as expected. Yes, this is a really big deal. We are talking about the individuals who are, of course, meeting with the Bank for International Settlements in order to bring all of these cryptocurrencies that are compatible with ISO to reality. These chats are taking place between them. This is a rather significant point. This picture was taken from a LinkedIn post that shows all of these people gathered together during the G20 summit in Brazil in 2024. We are able to see deeper cooperation is a goal that we here at the BS hold dear and work hard to achieve. Additionally, at the meetings of the G20 finance ministers and central bank governors, as well as finance and central bank deputies that took place in Rio de Janeiro, members of the delegations from the BIs and the Financial Stability Board that was hosted by the BIs worked closely together to respond to the difficulties that are currently being faced by the global financial community. Through their efforts, they were able to demonstrate the seamless teamwork that is an essential part of the Basel method. Pictured are Andrea Matula, who serves as the Deputy General Manager of the BIs, as well as a great number of other individuals who are participating in these enormous meetings. In addition, it is precisely these kinds of gatherings that are going to be accountable for the widespread acceptance of XRP, all right? The fact that we are participating in all of these debates is of the utmost importance, regardless of whether we are talking about the Bank for International Settlements, the International Monetary Fund, or the G20 in general. In addition, as you can see from this vantage point, we are participating in these conversations. There is no doubt that we are involved, and we are bringing forward all of this information and education regarding the ways in which XRP is going to be transforming absolutely everything. Additionally, it is of utmost importance that the International Monetary Fund, IMF, write about us and all of the features and benefits that we offer. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, is a topic that I would like to get into further because there is a great deal more going on there as well. As things are right now, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, is really providing assistance to a number of impoverished countries who are burdened with debt through a variety of different programs, one of which is the IPC initiative. And the manner in which they are assisting these underdeveloped nations is going to be very comparable to the transformation that will take place in the financial sector, which will most likely occur with XRP at the head of it. As we can see, there are a number of individuals who provide funding for initiatives of this nature. However, we can also see that the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and other multilateral institutions provide 44% of the funding for the high-income people's HIPC initiative. The remaining funding comes from bilateral creditors, and the total cost of providing assistance under the HIPC initiative is estimated to be approximately $76 billion by the end of 2017. Additionally, the following is a list of all of the many nations that have been receiving assistance as of the year 2024. We are able to observe Afghanistan, Gambia, Benin, Bolivia, and a great number of other underdeveloped nations that are receiving a very large quantity of assistance that is transforming their lives. There are a lot of names that are already famous to you, Haiti, Chad, and a lot of other countries are among those whose lives have been altered by the International Monetary Fund. Now, one of the ways that the International Monetary Fund, IMF, is educating all of these countries is through the utilization of decentralized technologies to essentially escape their governments. This is because in the majority of cases, all of these countries that are experiencing a great deal of economic problems are as a result of their government continuing to print absurd amounts of money. You can only imagine what would happen to your economy if your government made the decision to print $10 trillion today, which is equivalent to 100 billion, and would absolutely demolish it, right? There is simply no possibility in the world that you will be able to benefit in any manner from all of that money that is currently in circulation. The government is only utilizing that to their advantage in order to amass an enormous fortune at your expense and, in essence, to tax you out of all of your savings built up over the course of your life. Furthermore, it is terrible that this has occurred in a great number of different countries. What exactly is their answer then? To be more specific, it is not to subscribe to the answer that their government has proposed, which is to print money rather. It is to find a new system. Isn't that something that is absolutely unrelated to that? That is exemplified very well by XRP coin.